Right, here we go. We're going to make our own bias binding for our party dress. Just while my iron heats up, I'll explain what to do with the fabric. So, fabric, you'll have a rectangle. I can find something that's a rectangle just to demonstrate. So, your selve edge is going to be up this side, and that is what we would call the warp. Those are the threads that go up and down. And then the threads that go from left to right are called the weft. So I always remember it as weft to right. And you know how I like a nice pun. Now for bias binding, what we want to do is we want to cut on the bias of the fabric, which is his most stretchy area. And that is running across the diagonal. So what I've done essentially is I have cut a strip of the extra bits of the spotty which you would have had left over. We always give you much more than you need to do the bodice, and I have cut a strip that is roughly about 2 inches wide. Let me see, well, it's exactly 2 inches wide, so 5 centimeters across the bias. Now you'll notice my piece isn't particularly long in total. That's because we're only going around Dolly's armhole. So if I pop that out the way, this is really easy. It'll save you a fortune on buying bias binding if you can make your own. So once you've got your bias strip cut, if you take some long pins, okay, and you pop it, I'm actually going to use the pattern on my ironing board to help with this, and just pin it like so. So in a little bit, in a little bit, and then I'm going to move over here and I'm going to try and pick roughly the same area of this circle to do it again. Oops, just catch a few of the threads, come up to about the same height as the other one and catch a few of the threads there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to feed our material through this gap, and as we iron it, it will fold on itself. So I just want to move my little iron. Incidentally, if you haven't got one of these little irons, they are amazing. Amazing if you put them on the rubber mat that you can buy for them, because I've, as you can see, done a nice burn here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pass the tip of that material under there, and you can see how it's already gathering up. In a minute it will fold. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run that under to the other side, pop that under there. Now it doesn't look very neat and tidy, so we're going to have to manipulate it just to start off, and you just want to get those edges to fold in so there's somewhere maybe meeting up in the middle. And as you can see, I'm going to end up with a binding that is this wide. So right, all we're going to do is even up the sides so that they're about the same, so that we're going to get a nice even bias binding. And all I'm going to do is pop my iron on the middle, she says dangerously, and just flatten that first bit, and then all we're going to do is pull the fabric under the iron, and that really is it. I'm going to go all the way to the end. Now as it pops out of this one here, you'll lose track of it a bit, so I would suggest just ironing that bit yourself. So do your second piece, remove your pins. Look at that, isn't that amazing? Now this is just how your granny would have done it. And incidentally, if I have a look around here somewhere, I've actually got some little tools that will do this. Here we are. Here are the little tools. Now as you can see with these, what you would do is you would still cut your bias fabric the same. You would thread the fabric in there and it would make the fold for you, come out that end, and literally you would just put that on there and you would have your iron here and you would pull it through like so. But not everybody's got one of those. There's not much point me showing you or teasing you. Just going to finish off that little bit here, and so the next step is I'm going to show you how to bias bind the armholes on the party dress.